Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it was likely censorship. Joe Rogan says YouTube tried to suppress Trump. No way it was a mistake. For those of you that don't know, you all do, but sure, Joe Rogan interviewed Donald Trump on his show about a week ago. It was amazing. It was a really, really great show. We were all looking forward to this interview finally happening. And of course, as soon as it came out, you couldn't find it. Now, of course, initially it was unlisted. And a lot of people thought this was censorship. No, Joe Rogan did that on purpose because they were trying to synchronize the uploads with Spotify, but there was an upload error with Spotify. That's no big deal. However, following the relisting by Joe, you still could not find the show. If you searched for it, it didn't come up. A lot of people were saying, how is it possible that one of the most consequential, if not the most consequential podcast ever cannot be searched for on YouTube? It doesn't quite make sense. It wasn't just that you couldn't search for it. It didn't even trend. Well, they try to give explanations and they say, I believe one explanation that's been circulating is that, well, a bunch of people must have flagged this as a spam. And then YouTube automatically put it through their spam filter and we ain't buying it. Joe Rogan and Donald Trump were doing this sit down and everyone in the world knew it in advance. There's no way YouTube did not have this something ready to go. Now, perhaps it was one rogue engineer who suppressed the video. That may be. They'll never admit it. But this did happen before Elon bought X, when it was still Twitter. A rogue employee deleted Donald Trump's account because these people are fervent. And so I tell you right now, man, we're less than a week away from this election. And I'm going to tell you right now, I am very concerned about what rogue actors will do. I am not super concerned about conspiracies. You know, a lot of people say deep state this, conspiracy that. I mean, maybe. Maybe. What I am concerned about is all of the lone actors who we have already seen. You've got the story of the guy on the bike torching a guy had a sign in his yard. Some random guy on a bike came and lit it on fire twice. Got arrested for it. You have the woman who runs up on someone's lawn and starts punching their Trump sign. Insane. Numerous videos of people ripping down Trump signs because these individuals, they don't need to be told to take action to cause harm to Trump or his campaign. They just do it. So one rogue actor at YouTube nukes the Joe Rogan Donald Trump interview, but not shutting it down, just making it harder to find. And I think this probably did have a big impact on the total viewership. When this video went live and people couldn't find it, other people started posting it on other platforms, rebroadcasting it or whatever, ripping Joe's show, rehosting it. This, of course, negatively impacted the viewership. So we see right now 41.5 million. Perhaps it would have been 50. I'm not kidding. Other people were uploading it in full to Rumble, to X, and to other channels on YouTube because they were saying you need to see it. They're suppressing it. I think some of them may have been a bit more nefarious, like, ooh, I'll get a lot of views if I take Joe's show. Sure. But I think this did negatively impact the interview with Donald Trump. Newsweek reports podcaster Joe Rogan has addressed the controversy over his interview with Trump being too difficult to find on YouTube, alleging that the issues were not a mistake. Trump's appearance on the Joe Rogan Experience drew millions of views, but users reported issues. Quote, if you Googled Rogan Trump, you could only get clips. You couldn't watch the whole episode. You couldn't find it. And so we reached out to them a couple of times and they fixed it to their credit. So now you can find it. There is no way it was a mistake. That's too convenient, Rogan said, adding that it could have been a rogue engineer. Although he initially said he was sure it was a mistake, he later clarified that he was being sarcastic. You can't suppress ish. It doesn't work. This is the internet. This is 2024. People are going to realize what you're doing if you try to make it so that something can't come up in search engine because it's too popular. Rogan questioned why the interview had not been featured on YouTube's trending page, despite it generating 26 million views in 24 hours. He said that if that's not trending, he doesn't know it is. I'm telling you, I don't know, maybe Joe's watching my show because I said that too. One of the big issues around the censorship was how did it not hit trending? And I know a lot of people, look. I got a song coming out tonight. I'm not doing this because I want to promote the song. I do want to promote the song, but I want to stress this. I make these videos. Yesterday, 2 days ago, I made a video, and let me see the numbers right now. 656,000 views from my show on the 29th. 656,000. It was not trending. Fascinating. Within, I believe, an hour, it had 200,000 views. And maybe that's not that big. I don't know, but I can tell you this. When we started a new channel to release music, this is like 2 years ago, we put out a song called Only Ever Wanted. The channel had very few subscribers, brand new channel. We launch the song and share it. It generates a couple 100,000 views over, I think, like 8 hours. It had like 400,000, and it was trending on YouTube. It was trending because YouTube has, and the number appeared next to it. We were like, whoa. I was like, I had never had a trending video like this before. I had a featured video back in the day 10 years ago when they used to do front page features, but I had never had so many views in so short a time that I got this trend. And I said, well, hold on. I've had a lot of videos, youtube.com/Timcast, where I got 500,000 views in like 3 hours, and it was never trending. It's obvious, isn't it? YouTube, they likely blacklist, or I guess you call it red listing, whatever it is. This is, blacklisting is more like your banned, your shadow banned. It's hard to find. They have put my channels, I can only assume, on lists saying, do not trend. That's right. I believe this is the tiny room shadow ban. And the purpose is make it difficult for new audience members to find this channel. Hence, we were never trending. But a new channel we launched was. I believe they're doing the same thing to Joe Rogan. There's no way you can have 26 million, hit 10 million overnight and trended nothing. I bet if you go to YouTube trending right now, you're going to find videos that only have a couple 100,000 views. How is that possible? Except they've done it intentionally. Now, Joe may say Rogue Engineer removed him from search. Sure. But not trending? That's not a rogue engineer. That's structural. That's someone removing the trend or blocking it from happening. I suppose maybe you say, oh, rogue engineer too. Nah, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I believe that's institutional right there. Maybe the search removal. Sure. But not on trending? This was the most trending podcast in the world. And YouTube did not list it. They're going to say that YouTube previously addressed the issue in a statement to Variety on Monday, stating for some searches on Monday, the original 3-hour interview didn't appear prominently. Short excerpts uploaded by Joe Rogan channel appeared, but we know it's frustrating for users looking to find the full video. We worked hard to resolve the issue, blah, blah, blah. When the interview first aired, viewers questioned why the video was unlisted, but Rogan clarified this, we know. In the latest podcast episode, Rogan praised Elon Musk, the owner of X, a staunch Trump supporter, for intervening and uploading the full video to his platform. Elon was furious, so Elon contacted Daniel Elk at Spotify, and they put it on X as well. So now it's on X, the full. So it has way more views than ever. In that episode, which featured comedians Francis Foster and Konstantin Kaisin as guests, Rogan spoke about how he believed large media companies control and suppress information. And, dear friends, Joe Rogan is correct. The trending thing matters. It really does. Trending is how people get an understanding of what is currently popular among the general population, what's happening right now. That's why we have trending. We released our first 2 songs, and on a new channel, they were trending with comparable views. Never again. We released a song called Together Again. It was a spoof cover of a Daily Wire song that Jeremy Boring and Michael Knowles had written. It's our biggest release ever. It's got millions of views. We sold tens of thousands of singles. Not only were we told it couldn't chart on Billboard, but it did not trend on YouTube. Now how can that be? Unless they've decided you are no longer eligible to appear on trending. Interesting, is it not? I suppose there'll be some argument from someone saying, you just don't understand the algorithm. Rogan's got too many subscribers. Now, fair point. The weight of the trending may be relative to your subscribers. How many views did you get? Now, that can't be the end all be all, because that would mean that a channel with no subs getting 10,000 views would appear on trending. That doesn't make sense. There's got to be a bottom line. For a new channel like Timcast Music, when we launched with no subscribers, didn't make sense that we would appear on trending. Now, they may argue, look, Joe's got 18 million subs. And so if he launches a video that gets a ton of views, it's not trending just because Joe Rogan's big. I would actually argue that's exactly what it means to be trending. Just because Joe Rogan is famous does not mean his content is not trending. If he has 18 million subs and 5 million watch the episode in 10 hours, That's trending. That is culturally prominent. Perhaps the argument from YouTube is going to be, well, who needs to be notified of this if they're all watching it anyway? 5 million ain't the world. 20 million ain't the world. It doesn't matter who you think needs to be notified or otherwise. Is it trending, yes or no? And in this regard, it was, and they did not list it. I think it's on purpose. Kamala Harris won't do the interview. And so, surprise, surprise, YouTube is pushing back on Joe Rogan. It's not just Joe. We go back to 2018, there was a smear campaign where they falsely claimed that prominent YouTubers were secretly working with racists or something like this. The alternative influencer network, they called it. Each and every one of us that had been maligned had seen instantly after that report, YouTube recommendations drop off like crazy. You could actually track when the report came out, and they were lies. It was all fake news. They had claimed that a video game comedian, Chris Rogan, had directly coordinated with Richard Spencer. Chris Rogan's like, I don't even know who that is. I never met the guy. What? They claimed that I had done collaborations with Stefan Molyneux. And I'm like, I've never met the guy. I know who he is. I never met him. It was fake news. This is what the corporate press does. Now we're hearing Tucker Carlson. We've heard Ben Shapiro say that the New York Times is working on a big smear piece, laundering media matters for the efforts of suppressing channels that are counter to the machine narrative, podcasts, prominent ones. You know, I've been asked about it several times because I also did receive a similar message. This is funny. It was like, can you comment? We're writing a story about this. And they gave me nothing to comment on. It was like, we have identified several people and using research from Media Matters, misinformation. And then it just mentioned some things like with no questions. And it was like, care to comment? And I'm like, comment on what? Like, you didn't ask me a question or you didn't say anything. It was like the weirdest thing ever. I was like, I don't know why you're messaging me this. Maybe the guy's just trying to get attention or something. Seemingly nonsensical. But I wouldn't be surprised if the corporate press is continuing their downward spiral and trying to manipulate the machines to benefit themselves. That being said, you may have noticed that in the past couple of weeks, Timcast IRL and this show have been appearing on the front page of YouTube default. That is, for new users, when you go to youtube.com, guess what you see? Big podcasts, left and right. Well, the CEO passed, rest in peace, I mean no disrespect, and I think a new CEO must have come in and said, we're making changes here. We want to maximize revenue, but also take a look at this. With Jeff Bezos and others stepping up and saying outright, we will not endorse, I have to wonder if what's actually happening is that they can see the writing on the wall. Bezos runs this op-ed saying, we don't want to appear biased. Yeah, okay, dude. Some people have pointed out that USA Today, LA Times, and Washington Post not endorsing is because the wealthy owners don't want Kamala Harris. She's in favor of a wealth tax. And they're like, no, we don't want that. Not one bit. I actually think it's because they're scared of what happens when Donald Trump comes into office, and that's what they expect. The polls are leaning Trump's direction. The metrics, the betting markets, everything is coming up Donald Trump. Public sentiment, direction of the country, the Gallup poll predictions are all indicating a Donald Trump win in 5 days. So imagine you're a billionaire. You're running Google. You're Mark Zuckerberg. You're running Facebook. You're probably going, crap. Elon Musk saw it. Elon Musk, I think, saw it legitimately, though. He buys X. He says, this is wrong. They're banning Babylon Bee. We can't allow this. So what do you get? He buys X and he says, I'm not for these things. Trump is better. Mark Zuckerberg comes out and goes, oh, geez, oh, man, oh, wow, I'm a libertarian now. I'm not Democrat. Remember that video where Mark Zuckerberg had Sweet Baby Ray's just on a shelf in his living room? You know, I don't know what that was all about. It's kind of weird, but he probably just bought it from the store and put it on a shelf and forgot about it or something. Whatever. That was kind of weird. But anyway, I think Mark is concerned about what happens when a Trump administration comes in, cleans up shop, and then starts bringing in some antitrust accountability across the board. And so these billionaires, they're sitting there being like, we are in trouble. Oh, y'all played dirty games in 2020, suppressing the Hunter Biden laptop story. Oh, man, how about when the Ukraine scandal hit and we learned about the man who blew the whistle? It was all completely orchestrated and fake. And let me tell you this. The name has been spoken, but I will not speak it because I still don't know what they're going to do. But there was a name that was banned from all social media, and it was one of the weirdest things I've ever experienced. This is when I think you could see the deep state falling apart in sheer panic. Yeah, no joke. What we ended up seeing was, following the impeachment investigation, there was this whistleblower that Donald Trump was engaging in a quid pro quo with Ukraine. Quid pro quo. The guy who blew the whistle worked for the CIA. And Real Clear Investigations discovered his name. And what happened? If you typed his name in on Facebook, it would disappear instantly. Now that's weird. So I actually made a post seeing all of this happening. No rules were broken. No strikes were given. I said, so-and-so is a 54-year-old dentist from Dubuque with 3 kids. That was it. Clearly not a reference to any CIA agents. They deleted the post. I said, that's really weird. This is just a regular name, just someone's name, but they filtered it out. On YouTube, this was the craziest thing. I had made a video saying Real Clear Investigations exposes this individual, and I got no notifications. Someone messaged me and said, hey, Tim, why did you delete your video? And I said, what? No, your video from this morning is gone. So I went in, looked at the video, and when I tried to mouse over the video, it didn't, you know when you put your mouse over a link, it turns to the pointing finger? When I did that, can we do that? There you go, like there. So see right there on Newsweek, it turns into a finger to point. It didn't. I couldn't click on anything. And I was like, this is really weird. So for me, it looked like it was still there. But when I hovered my mouse over it, nothing happened. That was when Donald Trump was president the first time. Do you think he has amnesia? I certainly do not. So for all of these people that have been running this machine against Donald Trump, now seeing that the machine has failed, Donald Trump is approaching victory. He may win. I don't know. Y'all better go vote. Oh, man, I bet they are shaking in their boots. So the people at YouTube, the people at Twitter, now X, the people at Facebook, the people at the Washington Post, the LA Times, USA Today, oh, they know it's coming. And they're concerned about it. That's why I think these changes may start to roll out. The front page of YouTube is now being very nice to my show. Very nice. Wow, I've seen it appear on the front page quite a bit. Not all the time. But what's fascinating is Timcast IRL typically ranks around the top 5 live streams in the world. It's kind of crazy to say. We're not the biggest show, okay? We do around 20 million views per month. It's not a whole lot. The show itself gets between 300 to 500 on YouTube, some a little bit more, and the audio podcast gets about 100,000. Strangely, the live audience is one of the largest in the world. That's interesting. I think we can do a lot to improve reach and be better than we are. But again, I'll stress we're not the biggest show. In fact, I mentioned this and some people got mad about it. But my morning show is actually bigger than Timcast IRL. Gets substantially more views. Like I was mentioning just a couple days ago, 700,000 views. One of my videos from yesterday, 400,000 views. There is much, much more attention on my individual news segments, this channel right here, than Timcast IRL gets. But now we're starting to see the censorship get lifted. And I wonder if that is because we gained hundreds of thousands of subscribers over the past month, this channel as well. I wonder if they're starting to realize, oopsie daisies, Trump is going to win. And this is going to reshape the censorship and the media industrial complex. The Democrat media industrial complex is in for oh boy. Trump was speaking about the CBS interview with Kamala Harris, 60 Minutes. They edited her answers to make her look better. They changed what she said. Trump said that should be illegal. They should lose their license for this. What did the media report? Trump says that interviewing Kamala should have been illegal and they should lose their license. They lied because they're desperate. Well, some of these people still got fighting them. They're still, you still got New York Times and other outlets endorsing Kamala Harris. Some have endorsed Donald Trump, but I think when Trump gets in, he's going to bring in, FEC, FCC, DOJ, and it is going to be very interesting what ends up happening. Now, look, my friends, I don't know if Trump's going to win. Certainly, there's some writing on the wall suggesting he will. These billionaires are rather terrified. It's going to be up to you. Did you go vote? I did. I went and voted yesterday. It took about 15 minutes. No big deal. And it was easy for me. West Virginia, I was like, they gave me a pencil and they said, use the eraser and you just tap the things you want. And I did. Double checked everything to make sure I was good. And I said, all right, let's roll. And they gave me a little sticker. I'm in West Virginia. They call this mega country. They say, ain't no way West Virginia's going blue. But you know what matters? The popular vote. That's why I've been saying it nonstop every day. This is the most important week of our lives. There's 5 days left. You need to go vote. I don't care what state you're in. If you're in a swing state, of course you need to go vote. If you're in California, Washington, or Oregon, you need to go vote. Trump must win the national popular vote. Now, I'm seeing these rumors out of California that you have the screen where it's got all the list of candidates. You have to actually scroll down. It doesn't show Trump. It's not going to be easy. They're going to put every hurdle in your way, but send that message. Let the far left crackpots know we will not tolerate the censorship, the manipulation, the lies, the spending of our tax dollars on foreign conflicts. We reject that. We want border security. We want security for American workers and no more wars. So you need to go out. If you're in deep red and you think Trump's going to win anyway, doesn't matter. Trump needs the popular vote. If you're in deep blue and Trump's going to lose anyway, doesn't matter. Trump needs the popular vote. And if you're in Pennsylvania, you better bring everybody you know to go vote. Tell everybody, come on, everybody, we're going to vote. And you go vote. Because this is the most important week. I can't imagine what this country is going to look like if Kamala Harris wins. Not that Donald Trump's going to be a perfect leader or anything like that, but Lord help us, I do not know what to... I don't know that anyone will accept the results anyway. But we'll see, my friends. I'll leave it there. Next segment's coming up at 4 p.m. on this channel. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you all then.